You know, magnesium is needed in a lot of different functions in the body. It's a cofactor in many different biochemical pathways, but its primary purpose is to act as a calcium antagonist. Now, calcium is very toxic in the body unless it's in normal amounts. And if you are over 50 in female and are told that you need to take calcium as in some supplement, this video is for you. But if you're taking 500 milligrams or more of calcium every day, that has a potential to increase your risk of heart attacks, as well as your risk for a stroke. Why? Because calcium is very toxic in the body unless it's in normal amounts. In fact, calcium is essential. We need it desperately, but we need it in smaller amounts. Calcium does not exit the body very easily. We tend to hold on it. And there's many different disease processes out there involving the accumulation of calcium, especially building up calcium in your arteries. This is why one of the best tests that you can do for that would be a CAC test, a coronary artery calcification test or scan. And I personally had that scan. I'll put a link down below so you can watch the video on that. But the test is very quick. It's relatively inexpensive, but it'll give you some really good data on predicting mortality from heart attacks. But it's going to measure the calcium in the coronary artery. And so magnesium is the key mineral to help prevent that. Now, there's also vitamin K2 that is also involved right there. I'm just bringing this up because there are some people that are taking supplements and they're taking calcium every single day, and they don't realize that it's actually quite harmful. I don't ever recommend taking a lot of calcium. The way I know that a lot of people are taking calcium is all you have to do is look at the top selling multivitamin minerals in the world and just pick up the bottle. It's going to be really heavy, like it's almost like a paperweight. That's because the first ingredient is calcium carbonate. Not a good thing to take because of this right here. If you're taking a multivitamin mineral, read the ingredients and make sure it doesn't have the calcium carbonate. And it's really kind of bizarre to me that you would put that as the first ingredient in a multivitamin mineral. And that's because anytime you have the first ingredient, that makes up the bulk of that product. And calcium carbonate, which is limestone, is extremely cheap. It's like basically eating rocks. And they're selling you these rocks with some synthetic vitamins, and you think you're getting something that's quality when you're not. And these products are very, very cheap. Okay, so then we have a condition called hypercalcemia, too much calcium in the blood. Sometimes people ask me, what about vitamin D? Is that going to cause hypercalcemia? First of all, you would have to take extreme amounts, extremely large amounts of vitamin D, like over 100,000 IUs, maybe over 200,000 IUs, and take it for months before you would develop that. Okay, so when we're talking about much smaller levels, like 10,000 or 20,000 or even 30,000 IUs of vitamin D3, that's not what I'm talking about when I'm saying extreme large amounts. But if you have hypercalcemia, here are the symptoms: arrhythmias, abdominal pain, paralytic ileus. That means your colon has shut down. It's obstructed, but there's nothing physical that's blocking your colon. That's because the calcium is interfering with the other electrolytes that help you in the contraction of the smooth muscle in your colon. Okay, vomiting is a symptom. Excessive urination or reduced urination. Interesting. Psychosis, strong desire for sleep, and constipation. Now, you can get magnesium from consuming a lot of salads like leafy greens. Pumpkin seeds have a good amount of magnesium. Avocado is a good source, and nuts are a good source as well. If you want more information about that CAC test, I put a link down. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto and Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.